YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 news video. Alright folks, strap in because we have a ton of Destiny 2 news to go over. We got a really big hotfix yesterday, at the time of recording this video. It's midnight, and it pretty much broke the game, and the game was down all day long. Well, everything has been restored, and I'm going to go over what Bungie had to say about it. We're going to go over some things that were uncovered in the database, and I'll just give you the punchline right now before we go into the details, but it looks like, I'm like 99% sure based on this information, Trials of Osiris is coming back next season, and the season is going to be called Season of the Worthy. Yeah, we're going to get into it. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and of course, if you'd like to further support the channel and become a channel member, join our channel member Discord and Mesa Army Clan. Click the link in the description or click join on screen. All right, let's get into it. On the 4th of February, I'll be live streaming right here live on YouTube as we will have the Empyrean Foundation. Now, we're going to have more information about this from Cosmo this Thursday with the This Week at Bungie. So make sure you subscribe. I will bring you up to date on whatever they drop on us. But we have these triumphs that these came out a couple of weeks ago. So you're going to need a lot of fractaling, right? So one of them is called Central Power. Repair and insert the Tower Obelisk core to activate its true potential. Then we have Power Overwhelming. Increase the potential charge of the Tower Obelisk by repairing its components and increasing the level of destination obelisks. Then we have Empyrean Restorer. Donate polarized fractaling to the Tower Obelisk to contribute towards the Empyrean restoration effort. And it says 0 out of 5,000. So to get this completed, well, it says 5 out of 80 and it says 0 out of 5,000. You're going to need at least 5,000, if not more. I'm closing in on 20,000 fractaling right now. I know, I'm a loser. And then we have Torchbearer. Complete the Empyrean restoration effort and light the beacon. So what does that lead into? Ginzer, if you're not familiar with, he's one of the ultimate data miners, and he finds everything there is to find in the database. Well, he posted these strings of text here. Provide tremendous support towards the restoration effort and rekindle the lighthouse to usher in a new age of guardians. Then Worthy. Complete the Empyrean Restorer triumph and then also light the torch. But here's where it gets really interesting. He tweeted this out, another string of text. With the restoration of the lighthouse complete, Trials of Osiris and more will return in Season of the Worthy. Now you might be saying this is probably BS or he's just making this up. No, he's been right every single time, and he only posts things that are legit and or end up being legit. And then Paul Tassi from Forbes, he put up an article a long time ago. Trials in the Lighthouse will return to Destiny, I believe, and that we're going to be building it with this Empyrean Restoration. And Ginzer just simply replied to him with a handshake emote over on Twitter. So I'm going to say 95. I never say 99 or 100%. I'm going to say I am 95% convinced that Trials of Osiris, not Trials of the Nine, is going to be coming back, and that's probably the Season of the Worthy is going to be the name of our next season. Now my question is this. Is it going to be just a rehash of Trials of the Nine? Is it going to be similar to Destiny 1's Trials of Osiris and how they've been testing out elimination this whole season? Well, if it does come back, we need a major sandbox update, because I kind of feel like the Crucible is a bit of a mess right now, and especially if Trials of Osiris comes back, yeah, the sandbox definitely needs a serious update. Now, what do you think in the comment section? I also think there needs to be some sort of big PvE activity to go alongside this, because Trials of Osiris, that's not enough to satisfy all of us players. Remember, there's always way more PvE players than there are PvP players, in my humble opinion, or at least according to the data that we see on Destiny Tracker and various websites. But you sound off in the comment section. Are you happy about this, and do you think it's legit? If I had to place a bet on it, Trials of Osiris is coming back. TimeSplitter01, shout out to you, my friend. He's one of our channel member admins, one of the main ones, and he also sends me a lot of information that he finds. Well, he found a great post that has some more API data mined, and apparently this is going to be a story mission that we're going to get. The whole provide tremendous support towards the restoration effort and rekindle the lighthouse to usher in a new age of guardians. That's going to be an actual story mission, and it would not surprise me if we end up getting more story missions. I mean, we still have until March 10th until the next season hits, Season of the Worthy. All right, moving on here. So some Crimson Days stuff was data mined also. also. So we've got our Crimson Days bounties, and then also this Crimson Days Sparrow is showing up. And please let this not be just the reward. Please, maybe a weapon or a couple of weapons. I don't want to play Crimson Doubles or whatever it's going to be just to get a Sparrow. Let's not have another one of those Crimson Days where it's only a ghost shell for the reward. TimeSplitter found something really interesting in the database, and the Pit of Heresy has now been named Pit of Heresy Normal. It's not just, well, Pit of Heresy. Now, that means that we're more than likely going to get a harder version of it, like Legend or something. Now, TimeSplitter01 said to me that it's already been in the database, the Legend version of it, since Shadowkeep, but this is the first time that they actually changed it from Pit of Heresy to Pit of Heresy Normal. If you've been playing since the game is live again and update 2.7.1 is now working, they also changed up the bounties for the Obelisks. The requirements are a bit less tedious, to say the least. I think some of them, like, let's say like 300 Scorn kills is only maybe like 200 or something, or defeat 300 Fallen, now it's only like 200. So they changed them up to be a little bit easier, thank the Lord, because some of them I would just skip because I'm not doing that just to get 100 fractalin when I could just pop a fractalin skimmer and go do a couple of strikes. And the Saint 14 daily bounties, if you do them on all 3 characters, well, that's a ton of fractalin right there. Hence why I have close to 20,000 fractalin. Cosmo posted this over on the Bungie forums, rolling back character data and also restoring Destiny 2 services. So today, update 2.7.1 introduced a issue that affected currencies and pursuits. We immediately brought the game offline to migrate any loss of materials while we investigated. We have identified the issue, and good news is that we were able to deploy an update to the server and will not have to update the game client. We have rolled all character data back to our most recent backup at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's going to restore any lost materials caused by this issue, but players will lose any progress they made between that playtime. Any purchases made using silver or bright dust during this window will need to be repurchased. Any silver spent or purchased will be restored. So you're safe if you spent any silver this morning. Let's get into update 2.7.1, and I'm going to mostly read this verbatim. So first off, the Pit of Heresy improved some performance issues in the Chamber of Suffering encounter that could reduce frame rates. Fixed an issue where players could die when transitioning from the Necropolis encounter to the Tunnels of Despair. So if you're looking for that flawless, they fixed that. Fixed an issue where players could get out of the environment in the Tunnels of Despair. Next up, Garden of Salvation. Improved a performance issue that would occur when chunks of land return or are removed during the Sanctified Mine encounter. Improved the visual indication whether a tether source hub is on or off. They added a text notification when a Vex will sacrifice on a relay. That's a cool one, I like that. Moving on to the Nightfall, the Ordeal. Check this one out. Reduced weekly completions needed to bring it in line with other challenges. So what did they do? Players now need 3 completions on Adept, 2 completions on Hero, or 1 completion on Legend or Master. They made some changes to the Director here. Players can now shortcut directly to their roster by selecting their empty Fireteam slots or by invoking the roster shortcut on the Director map screens. Alright, moving on to rewards here. So with regards to weapons, seasonal bow mods should now work reliably with the Hush. They fixed an issue where Onslaught would reduce damage at 2 times Rampage stack despite not increasing rate of fire. So I'm really looking forward to that one because I miss my beloved Breakneck and I want to see how Breakneck performs. They adjusted scope feedback and camera shake on Hardlight, and I saw a lot of PvPers tweeting about this today. So let me know in the comment section, how is Hardlight now? Because I have never, I think the last time I used that was probably like a year or 2 ago. Alright, moving on. Ariana's Vow no longer gets more ammo when swapping from other special ammo weapons in Gambit. Starting ammo in Gambit is increased from 6 to 10. They fixed an issue where swapping from Two-Tailed Fox to another power weapon would generate more ammo than intended. Fixed an issue where Leviathan's Breath started PvE activities with more ammo than intended. Fixed an issue where Xenophage started PvE activities with more ammo than intended. Moving on to armor, the Empowered Finisher Dawn mod will no longer consume super energy if you do not have a mod equipped that is capable of benefiting from the Charged with Light buff. The Ever Ready Dawn mod will now stack correctly with weapon dexterity leg armor mods, applicable applicable to the weapon it covers. The heavy-handed Dawn mod will no longer trigger after the death of Telesto bolts. Increase the number of enemies that must be near the player to trigger the ammo-granting benefit from 2 to 3. Now, they're making some changes for diminishing returns on class items, so several class item armor mods will now correctly provide diminishing returns when multiple copies of the mod are equipped. These mods include Perpetuation, Innervation, Invigoration, Insulation, and Absolution. So nothing changes when it comes to like Bomber or Distribution or things like that. I always love to run double Bomber on pretty much every single build that I use in the game. Next up, with regards to exotics, Wormgod Caress and also Winter's Guile no longer retain their status of their buff if the armor piece is unequipped, and the perk on the Syntheseps now deactivates immediately when the armor piece is unequipped. Next up, the Transcendent Blessing Outlaw mod will now correctly appear in the player's inventory. Previously, it would only be visible in the mod flyout when socketing a mod. Grenade Launcher Scavenger will no longer award special ammo for grenade launchers when the player picks up primary ammo bricks. The last finisher removed from favorites will no longer override the fallback default class finisher. This one's a weird one. Shadowkeep Campaign Exotic Armor no longer has the potential to show up in Xur's weekly inventory. Have I been living under a rock? I do a Xur video every Friday. Has he ever sold Shadowkeep Exotic? He probably has, and I just don't remember. Sorry, my brain is just in a fog right now. They also have here what I mentioned before. Completion values for some of the Destination Obelisk weekly bounties have been reduced. Fixed an issue where the green with envy pursuits could stop progressing correctly. Players who were in this state should have their progress updated retroactively. There was a number of little minor things that they fixed in the combat section, but one of them that's interesting is increase the Sunbreaker's Titan Mortar Blast damage by 70% in PvE. Also, players will remain in space flight instead of going to a black screen when they load into a PvP match faster than their peers. With regards to bounties and pursuits, fixed an issue that could prevent players from obtaining the Black Armory Key Mold quest from 801 on multiple characters. Acquisition of a Black Armory rare bounty has been significantly improved. Players that complete all available weekly and daily bounties will acquire a rare bounty within 5 days. So thank you, Bungie. I know a lot of people want that one. Black Armory keys taking up space in pursuits will now be removed if a player has already completed the mysterious box Izanagi's Burning quest chain and unlocked the exotic in their collections. The Gambit Prime Collector bounty will now progress from picking up Luna destination materials. Fix an issue affecting the newest sorting option in pursuits. Newly acquired quests or quests that get updated will now be properly sorted at the top. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will link the full patch notes in the description if you want to read them at your leisure. I didn't go over everything because otherwise we'd be here for another 20 minutes. I just wanted to cover the most important things in it. So big shout out to CJ the Titan in Los Angeles. I heard you used to be a warlock and now you became a Titan, so good luck with that, little buddy. And that's pretty much it. So leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end. If you'd like to further support this channel and become a channel member, click the link in the description or click join on screen. We've got an amazing Destiny 2 Mesa Army community over on Discord. We've got a Mesa Army clan if you need one as one of the bonus perks. And we've got a number of things planned for streaming and stuff in 2020, including a Mesa Army channel member podcast. Alright guys, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at MesaSean. Check out my stream, usually always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.